Hey everybody, it's your man Tyke coming to you with another true spook story. Now before I begin, I'm gonna go ahead and say hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and please consider sharing me. Y'all go ahead and share me now. We're making waves, the thing is big. Now I want to jump on into this one. So this story is gonna take place over there within the Carver Shores area of Orlando, Florida. This is right off of Ivy Lane Road and Raleigh Street. So if you're coming from Old Wintergarden Road, you're gonna take Ivy Lane Road straight up, boom. Then when you get there, you're gonna make a right. If you make a left, you're gonna be going on Columbia. If you make a right, it's gonna turn into Raleigh. So in between Raleigh and Kirkman is where this story gonna take place. The entire story gonna take place right there now. So there was this dude, and he loved to fight dogs. He was a fighting man. I mean, pit bull, Michael Vick type energy. You know, he loved to fight dogs. I mean, he knew how to train dogs. Dogs would just listen to him. It was a commanding thing, and he loved pit bulls. Man, he could make a pit bull do anything and everything he wanted them pit bulls to do. I mean, he had a diet. He just feed them good, go out there in the pen and brush them good. He was doing all that shit. And his name was Hamp. There's a difference between the Hamp boys and Hamp. Totally different family. The Hamp boys, they dealt with pit bulls too. But his first name was like Hamp, like Hampton, something like that. But again, I gotta say it's different from the Hamp boys, because that's an actual family here that dealt with dogs back in the day. And this story is not about them. So Hamp will always, he took care of his dogs. He was a loner, renegade. Go to him. He had a puppies and everything. He fight dogs. He raised dogs. He fed them. He did everything good. So he lived in a house right off of D Rock Street. You go down, you go up Riley, turn on D Rock, and then you make a right. And about 2-3 houses down D Rock, that's where he used to have his dog pens and shit at. So again, he used to fight dogs. They'll come get him from Sanford to Simi. He'll roll up there. And he had this one dog, man, and I remember that one damn dog. You know, we get dog names like Blackie and all that shit, but he nicknamed that dog motherfucking Stony. So the dog was named Stony, and he would call him Stone. He would call him Rock. He would call him Marvel. He would say all kind of names consisted with, some kind of hard sediment. And I keep that in mind, y'all. So Stony, the dog, and Hamp, they was a team. Although he had other dogs, Stony and Hamp was the team. They was a fighting team. Scratching, fighting, biting, breaking sticks. He had it all. Now, how can I say this? I want to say because these real people, man. All right. So Hamp had started fucking with the boys out there in Sanford, Florida. So he used to go there, and they had dog pens on top of dog pens. They had all this kind of bullshit going on. He didn't like how they were training the dog. They wasn't brushing the dog. Some of the dog was catching the mange, and they putting burnt oil on the dog instead of, taking the dog to the vet, getting vet shit, because that's how Hamp was. He took care of the dogs. Really, he took care of them. So Hamp was sitting out there, and he go fuck with the boys at Sanford. So he finna have, Stony, go to the pen and fight. So Stony going to the pen and fight. So boom, Stony flipping dogs, pop, flipping them, pop, one after one. Stony done had 3 fights in one day. So they like, oh, he retired today. So Hamp raking in the money. Hamp pulling in about $5 grand, $5 grand every fight. Then not to mention the side bet, because I'm the one out there side betting, and I'm cleaning up the motherfucking blood and shit. I get the water hose and I rinse the shit down, put some more fresh dirt on the bitch, draw the scratch line and all that shit there. So we doing our thing. Man. So Stoney had went up against this big ass pit bull. Lord have mercy. The head on that motherfucking pit bull was so big, I swear that bitch was like a car. And he was like, oh, Stoney got it. Stoney ain't no... Man, listen. That dog choked the fuck out of Stony ass like it wasn't nothing. Choked the fuck out of him and beat him down with it, shook him down. And this the fucked up part about it. You can't rush in if your dog dying. You know, it's till you know the ref called the shit. So he rushes in and he was like, fuck the money, that's my baby, that's my dog. He rushed in and he put his hand like he tried to pry the pit bull mouth open that was choking his dog Stony. He didn't use a breaking stick or nothing. So the dog ended up biting him, and I think his blood got mixed with all the saliva in the shit from the dog, man. Y'all remember this shit now. So the dude finally came out there and they took the water hose and they shot the dog in the mouth and in the face in the nose with the water hose. So, you know, they have to let go when you put that water in their face. But so all the dogs let go. So now it's the Stony on the ground bleeding, dying. The Hamp, he's sitting up there, hand bleeding and dying. And he on the ground crying about the dog. Everybody laughing at the nigga, thinking it's funny. They thinking the shit funny. Oh, you laughing? Laughing. Ha ha ha. And he like, fuck y'all. They like, nigga, you don't want our money, fuck that dog. Get your pussy ass out here. They selling him out. Get your fuck ass out here, nigga. We got our shit back. And he like, I got more dogs, bitch. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back. And he just, like, Stony picked up the dead dog and he, like, put the dog in the cage and shit in the back of the car. And he just rolled off with it. So I'm sitting out there, you know, I'm cleaning up the mess and shit, because I'm out there with my Uncle B at the time. But Uncle B loved to fight dog too, so I'm just hanging out with him. Sanford, Kissimmee, all that shit. So Stony get back to Carver Shores. I meant not Stony, sorry. Hamp get back to Carver Shores. And Hamp take the dog out and Hamp crying and shit. Hamp, you know, calling his brother and them outside and be like, hey man, they killed the dog, man. They must have gave that other pit bull some gunpowder, man. That's against the rule. You know, gunpowder make the dog crazy. And Oragel numb the dog tongue so he don't feel it. Say they must have shot him up with some morphine or some shit where the dog can't feel the bite. Because I know Stony was getting it. I know Stony had him. And he was crying. He kept saying the other dog was shot up with something. Y'all listen to me now. So his brother looked down and said, man, what's up with your hand? Why your hand all swollen? He like, oh, I ain't even feel it. And he like, what you mean? You was on that much adrenaline, you ain't feel, motherfucker? You got a dog bite, bitch, your thumb about to come off. So they took him across the street to the clinic, because back in the day, it was a clinic over there in Carver Shore. So they took him across to the clinic. The clinic gave him the little tetanus shot, whatever shot they had, antibiotic their ass up, and cleaned out the wound. And all while the nurse was stitching him up and shit, they kept saying, you don't feel that? And he's like, no, I don't feel nothing. So they thought the nigga had nerve damage, but he wasn't. But he was right. They had shot the dog up with some I can't feel shit type medicine, something, I don't know what they call it now, not morphine, the numbing shit, Oragel, but in the needle. Don't get me to calling names and shit. I'm not a drugologist. So now Hamp know that the niggas from Sanford were cheating. Now he go back over there after they done cleaned him up, he done took his hand. He realized Stony dead. Stony dead as a motherfucker. So now he boo-hoo crying, he can't lose Stony. So he just kept on saying this shit crazy. So he and his brother, now this is when I come over there. He and his brother, I see them back there digging a hole in the backyard. And I say, what you doing, man? I say, I'm coming to check on Stony. You know, because I went to the Winn Dixon and bought Stony, you know, a leg quarter, a little smoked leg quarter. Because he would let, you know, people come feed the dog. You know, it's a way to supplement the food. You couldn't feed him, but you could give it to him and he would feed him. I said, come brought Stony a leg quarter. He boo-hoo crying. He come tight, come here, man, and give me a hug. Tight, man, Stony didn't make it, man. Stony didn't make it. So I'm looking in the back at a house and I see him finna dig a hole in the back of the house. I say, man, what you doing burying a dog in the backyard for, man? I say, don't do no dog like that. He like, what? I say, man, you don't bring your ass to this little cemetery, man. Come on. So I took him to the cemetery right off Old Wintergarden Road. You know, it's the one next to the Jewish cemetery, but you know, people in there. But you know, at nighttime, we used to go and bury our dogs and our cats and shit. And now that passed away, where I seen other people. But you know, you do got time to dig a hole and bury a dog there. So I took him over there, man. I said, come on, man, get a dog a proper burial. So, you know, We dug the hole. We got about 4, 5 little stones and shit from the little construction yard, and we buried a hole in the corner, in the north corner of the cemetery. People, listen to me, north corner of the cemetery. We buried Stony in there. Put the 3 rocks on it. Say now you can come and visit Stony like a real G, man. Don't do him like that in no back fucking yard. They gonna piss on him, shit on him, rain on him. Like, yeah, I appreciate that. So he kind of getting over the shit. He still hated the fact that, you know, Stony, that they cheated in Sanford, you know, with the dog fight. So now he training another dog. So he training this dog right here to be savage. And only thing he doing, as he like getting on the ground with the dog on all fours, and he would be out there wrestling with the dog for an hour, and he would take his hand and he would go under the dog neck and choke the dog out, shake the dog, and like really shaking the dog. And that's how he trained him. So he was shaking the dog, making the dog skin under the neck numb and shit. He say, I ain't finna give my dog no drugs, I ain't no cheater. He say, but you know, gotta learn from your mistake. So I don't know the other dog name. I want to say Willie, but I ain't just gonna call no shit out. But so he had trained the other dog to do what it do. But every day, every week, he used to get all dogs out the pen, put them on the leash, put them in the truck, and all the dogs would go out there to the cemetery, and he'll let them go in the cemetery, and all the dogs would run over there to the corner of the grave site where Stoney buried. And they'll sit over there, and he'll come out there, and he'll like pour some liquor out on the top of the dog and shit like that, and he'll just laugh, and all the dogs will just whimper and shit around the graveyard and shit. So he had got accustomed to it. He was doing it every week. Then he started doing it every month. Then he started doing it once a year. As he was making money, he knew how to raise a dog and fight a dog. Now, people, I'm finna hold you right there because I really want you to hear what I gotta say. This man loved that dog so much, and that dog loved him so much, that when he stopped visiting the dog, people used to get up and say, man, we seen Stoney walking up Carver Shores Road coming to see you. And that would make him feel good because, you know, over years he had started, you know, smoking weed. I think he had got on crack or some shit. It just got bad. He was in drugged out. He still knew how to fight his dog. So if you get a dog, pit bull, you take it to him, he'll tell you what kind it is about flipping it over. He clipped the tails, clipped the ears and shit. He took care of the dog, clipped the neck. He was that type of hood animal vet man, only for pit bulls and fighting dogs. He knew how to do it. So he was like, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all crazy, man. Yeah. So he stopped going to see Stoney. Now him and Stoney were best friends. He loved that dog. This happened over some years. So everybody used to say, hey man, you know, we see Stoney coming up the road to see. He thought it was crazy. He thought they were making jokes. So one day he finally decided to go out there. He said, hey Tyke, come rock with me. I'm 19 now. You know, I'm in the holes and shit. I'm in the fucking, I had my nuts cracked at 18, bitch. I'm trying to screw something. Man, come on, give me a ride out here. I say, bitch, I got a moped. I ain't got no car. So I put him on the moped. So we driving up Old Wintergone Road on a moped. All the way from, you know, Carver Shores and shit. It looked funny, but it is what it is. So we go out there to the grave site, and he see that, you know, Stoney grave was disturbed. You could say like somebody tried to dig it up, but it wasn't with a shovel or nothing. They were trying to dig it up with their hands. Like they were trying to dig the shit up with their hand. And he was like, man, that's fucked up. Fucking with my dog. Man, that's fucked up. And I'm like, dog, when the last time you been out here? I say, that dirt look like it's been moved, man, for like months, bitch. I say, the rain done dented the dirt, nigga. And he like, man, it been a while, you know. I done forgot about it. I'm gonna start coming out here. So me and him packed the dirt again. You know, kicked it and used our hand, packed it again. So he wait, next day he come out there, boom. 7 days pass, he go back out there again to see the dog. Yeah, what it is. The dirt of the grave been pulled up again. Again, it's fresh, it's less than 6 days old. He say, who keep fucking with my dog, man? So he getting heated. Next thing you know, same thing. He said, okay, well, bitch, I'm finna sit out here at the cemetery. So he went and got a sheet. He got him some beer. He got him some weed and shit. And he told me, say, man, I'm going to be sitting in the cemetery. I got to see who coming out here fucking with my dog. So he was out there. I say, all right, man. I say, it is what it is. I'll check on you in the morning time and shit when I'm shooting to the no people house. Go over there. He sat out there, man, like a real G all night with a cover and blanket on his head, slept on the ground in the cemetery about, about, I'm gonna say about 50 yards away from where the dog was buried. So I go out there the next morning. He up like with his hand on his hip, just laughing and smiling like he had got a new burst of vigor and shit. And I'm like, man, what's going on, bro? I say, you happy and shit? I say, shit good with you? I had went and stopped at Magic Fry and got him, egg and cheese sandwich and shit. Egg, cheese, and bacon sandwich. He's like, man, I'm good. He say, appreciate you for the food type. So I'm like, all right. So I say, why you so happy? He say, man, you won't believe what I saw. I say, tell me. Get this, people. He said the kids, like Stony kids, the puppies, Stony kids had like because we were breeding dogs too. Stony's baby came out there and started digging up, trying to get to their mama when they got old enough to leave and break out of whoever house they were living at. They came in, they dug up the damn dirt, trying to get to the mama's bones and corpse, the rest with the baby. But he said when they seen him in the cemetery, they came over there and started playing with him, hanging out with him, jumping on him, licking on him like they knew him. But he didn't know them dogs, but they knew him because he still had the mama's scent on him. They were best friends. So then I said, okay, that's cool. So then he was like, I'm the daddy. He kept saying shit like I'm the daddy. So then he like opened his the sheet up. When I gave him the egg sandwich, egg and cheese and bacon sandwich, he opened the sheet up and he had a little puppy in his hand. The puppy had to be about 2-3 weeks old. I don't know how to measure dog puppies and shit. I ain't no dogologist either. But he had the dog in his hand, but you could tell the dog was able not to be on the mama titty. And he was like, man, this my grandson. He kept saying shit like this my grandson, this my grandson. And I'm like, this nigga done lost his motherfucking mind in my head. But he got a puppy to raise. And he had fell off his game with fighting dogs and shit like that. So it's a renewed vigor. And he was like, the dog looked just like Stony. Man, Stony came back to me. He used to say that. So I said, cool. So I go to Uncle B. I say, Hamp over there, like, going crazy, saying the puppy dog that looked like his other dog came back to him. Now, my Uncle B ain't never been superstitious, even though Grandma did what she did. Uncle B ain't never been superstitious. He was a hard-ass, fuck you up, shoot you dead type motherfucker. So he didn't believe in all that hoodoo stuff. He was like, man, that shit real. Dogs come back to life and dogs reincarnate with motherfucker. I said, what? So I'm like, man, this some bullshit. I say, all these niggas crazy, all these bitches out of their mind. And I said, all right, well, you might want to go check on the puppy. I said, it looked pretty cool, man. And he said that if he got that one puppy, because I thought he stole it from somebody's house in the neighborhood or the Vista area. I said, if he got that one, he might have another one. You might have one you could raise up, huh? He like, let me go see him. So when Unc went over there and I went with him, Unc was like, hey, let me see the puppy. Man, let me tell you, Hamp done went out there and shaved his head bald. He got this little mustache, little thin ass mustache back. He done put on some clothes, he clean. He gated up. He in the backyard drilling, making a little a dog pen. Put it in. He doing his thing, cutting the wood. He making his own pen. He like, bitch, we finna take over. So Uncle B came down there. Uncle B like, yeah, this a La Passe. They calling all this shit a Eli, a La Passe, American pit. They just naming all kind of pit breeds. I don't know shit about it. So he was like, I'm finna raise this bitch and we finna go get them motherfuckers in Sanford. So now Uncle B like, bitch, I got some medicine. I got this right here. We got this. So Uncle B started, like funding the dude and shit like that, getting him back on his feet. So, about a year past, the dog that he had got from the cemetery, all big and strong and shit. And again, it really did look like the original dog, Stony. So Uncle B was like, hold on, Mom. So now, because he brought the dog over there to Grandma. So Grandma come out there and Grandma say, hey, baby. And Grandma kissed him because she loved everybody. And she was like, this your new dog? Good thing you got your mind back. I've been praying for you. Like, oh, Grandma, thank you, Grandma. Thank you, Grandma. I lost myself. I love that dog. That dog was like this. He said, yeah, I know you love that dog, but now you got your dog back. Say, nah, you want me to put a blessing on this dog? He said, you can do that? She said, yeah. She said, I need you to leave the dog with me 24 hours. And he didn't want to leave the dog because, you know, he loved the dog. He said, baby, I ain't gonna hurt the dog, trust me. So grandma say, Tyke gonna be here and I'll have Tyke walking back around there tomorrow, getting some exercise. Okay, so she put the cage there, boom. Dog in the cage, looking good. Dog wasn't vicious, dog playful, loving, all that shit. Grandma said, go in there and get me that talcum powder. Said, yes, ma'am. She went and got some Johnson & Johnson baby powder, y'all. And she kept tapping the dog up to the point she put so much baby powder on that dog, he was white. Every time he'd shake it off, she'd throw some more on him. Dog was white. Grandma got that talcum powder. She went and got that cascarilla powder bit. She rubbed that on her skin. She rubbed that on her face, and she rubbed that on the dog, all over the dog to mix with the talcum powder. Grandma got her some Florida water. Grandma got her some kerosene, and she dug a hole right next to the dog. She took the dog shit, she put it in the hole with the Florida water, kerosene, and she dropped the Christian cross like a crucifix, what the Catholic people wear. She dropped that in a hole with the beads on it, rosin beads, I think they call it. She dropped that shit in the hole, and she set it on fire, and she covered it up. And when she covered it up, she took the dog out, like after it had smothered out a little bit, she took the dog and she put his fingernails, she dipped his paws, both his front paws, into the shit, the baby oil, the kerosene, the shit, and the Florida water mixture she had in the mud. She put it on his paws, on both his front paws, make sure it get under the nails good. Man, let me tell you something. That dog laid down and slept. It was all on his stomach. Slept good. The next day, grandma come out there and she said, get me the water hose over there tight. I said, yes, ma'am. She sat up there and she shoot the dog down with the water hose and shit. She wash off the paws and shit. She get all the powder off her. Then she take a brush and she brush the dog. All the hair that came off the brush, she put it in a black pouch and she tied it up with a red string around the top of it. And she say, make sure you get the hamp now. Tell him don't keep it in his left pocket. Don't let it slip out now. Don't let nobody else touch it. So I walked the dog around there to hamp and everything. The dog feeling good, smelling good, high stepping like a motherfucker. Y'all know what I'm saying? Man, Hamp get the dog. Hamp couldn't wait. Hamp get the dog. Hamp say, damn, he smell good. He look good. He different. So now the dog big and strong. So now Hamp say, you want to ride tight? Want to ride the sample? We finna go bump these niggas. I say, come on. So I hop in the car and shit. I hop in his truck. He fly in the sample. He done set it up again. Hamp say, you got some money on you? I say, I got about $2,000, man. He say, I promise. I say, I promise I'm going to get it back. I mean, I ain't think I was going to get the money back because, you know, I'm like, fuck that shit. Hamp going to lose, but it was good to see a good-hearted dude like Hamp in service. I was like, okay, God will give it back to me. It is what it is. So Hamp put down $2,000. The only $2,000 he had. And they say, what you want to do, nigga? So Hamp already know the dude's gonna dumb up the dog and juice up the dog with gunpowder and shit and whatever else, make the dog crazy, coke, whatever. Hamp say, okay. He said, yeah, $2,000, nigga. First one scratch, take off win. And he was saying they doing all kind of dog talk. I can't remember, dog fighting talk. So they put him down. And the Hamp dog took off, cut the line first, boom, hit him, charged him, bumped him, bam. Started shaking his ass. They bit him on the back of the neck and bit him on the eye. Hamp dog was just like a little ninja. He knew where to bite. All of a sudden, Hamp dog starts, like when they put the dog around and he started scratching the dog. People, we saw whips start coming like the dog's skin under the throat, under the muscle. We saw it start whipping up and shit. So I'm like, what the fuck? It like his nails were poison. I just say you the fucking thought process. Nails poison. So then the dude jumped out there. He broke him up with the broken brake stick. They put each other back behind the line. Hamp dog still want to run out there and get it. This stony grandson now. Boom, want to go get it. Dog cowered down. Boom. Stony done got $2,000, so now he got $4,000. He say, nigga, all or none, double or none. They put another dog out there. Man, by the end of the day, not Stoney, Hamp and Stoney grandbaby had made about 15 grand for that day. He had fought about 3-4 dogs, man. So they were like, so now they pulling guns like, fuck nigga, you cheating. Why my dog scared to bump? My dog ain't never scared to bump. What you got going on? What magic you got going on? So now Uncle B had heard I was over there in Sanford fighting them dog breeders. He like them ain't the same niggas. These niggas shoot guns nowadays. Got my nephew over there. So grandma say, take me with you. So now grandma rolling in the motherfucking car with Unc. And Unc had a Bronco, candy apple red Bronco at the time. So we drive over there. So now Hamp finna get smoked. Maybe I would have got smoked too. I don't know how the shit work. I ain't just gonna say I'm the hero of this bitch and put myself in the position to get knocked the fuck off. But I know they were from damn sure fuck Hamp up. So Unc drop out, hey man, what y'all doing? Kill that shit, dog, kill that shit. Nigga won fair and square. He was in the paint, now his dog scratch. Y'all be G about this shit. And grandma got out of the car and grandma was like, oh, hey baby, did you get that? And he's like, yeah grandma, that's a beautiful dog you got. So you know, but back in the day when a grandmama came around or somebody old mama, everybody respect no matter what the gangsters were doing. Everybody gonna cut that shit out. You know, cause the beef back in the day, it ain't had nothing to do with the old heads. It was street business. That's how I grew up. So all the shit got stopped. Grandma was like looking, and they were like ashamed to see grandma seeing them fight the dog. She's like, baby, I know what y'all kids do. Go on ahead. So grandma like, y'all go ahead. Grandma sat in the car, and grandma said, Tyke, come over here. Get me this chair here. So grandma sat down by the car, and she said, give him one more fight. Give him one more fight. I want to see. So the dudes from Sanford went and got their best motherfucking dog. I mean, they best motherfucking dog. This nigga was big-headed like a diesel truck. And I could tell you, Stoney grandson wasn't that big at all. Grandma said, before we start, and grandma took that red handkerchief. I remember it like it was yesterday, man. Grandma took a red handkerchief and she threw it in the center of the ring. She said, I want to do a side bet of $200. Which dog gonna touch that handkerchief first? They paw. Everybody started laughing. I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet. So, but they knew they were just gonna get grandma the money anyway. But grandma was serious. She was willing to lose $200. Grandma threw the red handkerchief in the middle. So when grandma threw the red handkerchief in the middle, they took the leash off the dogs. Boom, break. Again, Stoney grandson break the line first, shooting over there. Ran into the dog, punched the big old dog. All of a sudden, Stoney grandson, dog grandson ain't scratching, ain't biting the dog or trying to go at the dog. The dog stood up on his hind legs and started scratching the other dog like a human girl, man. Like just scratching, and it's like I said, I'm seeing some shit. And they were like, why did the dog kept shaking the head left and right and shit. But it was just using the front claws to scratch up the other dog and bubble up the skin and shit. So I was like, this shit crazy, man. I say the dog fighting like a real human being. Tell me why. People, the red handkerchief, grandma had went to the same cemetery where Stoney was buried. In the graveyard next to Stoney, she had got the dirt. And she had threw inside the handkerchief the dirt from the cemetery where we buried Stoney at. We threw the dirt from a human person grave in there, which was a lady, and the lady was dying of fighting. I think they removed the headstone, but the lady was a real rough lady, known for fighting in the streets. Grandma took the dirt from the cemetery, put it on the floor of the dog pen where they was fighting, which transformed that motherfucking Stoney Pitbull grandson or granddaughter into a fucking human-minded dog animal while it was fighting. And the dog slapping the motherfucking big head dog, putting them nails, digging them nails in it. Then when the dog got through, like, eyes was swelling up and jaw swelling up from the fingernails alone, then Stoney granddaughter or grandson dog just went up there and just started biting on the neck. And they like, how the fuck this little dog flipped this big dog? And just flipped him and started biting on the bitch neck. Now here's the fucking irony of it all. They chomped Stoney, like granddaughter dog, man, ate that dog neck, like literally chewing the fucking shit that came out the dog neck, ripped the bitch out, man, blood scattering. And the dude, oh my God, they had killed this best motherfucking dog, man. So dude was like, this some fuck shit. Nigga, that's crazy. And so grandma was like, where's my money? Where's my money? Cause Stoney, cause I don't know what the dog name. I can't remember that little baby name. He named that dog. Either way, Stoney granddaughter, grandson dog, touched the cloth first, so everybody gave her the money. I tell you, it got bad, man. So now everybody got their guns out. So now Unc pull out the gun. Boom. If my mama here, nigga, you ain't finna do nothing. I ain't have no gun, so I just had my little flick knife on me. So I got the little flick knife up, and I get in front of grandmama while she's sitting down. Hamp, he had brought his little pistol, so Hamp done pulled his pistol, but it's like 13 niggas in Sanford, like 2-3 of us. So we like, bitch, we gonna go home. People, after that dog got through eating, the dog that was on the ground, that dog turned around, ran up behind the dude who pulled the gun first. The big pit bull killed his mama and sat up there and bit that bitch on his shoulder, behind his back, like right by his neck. And he wouldn't, and that dog wouldn't let go. Motherfucker on the ground, he couldn't hit it with a stick. They put the breaking stick in the dog's mouth. Dog wouldn't let go. They even got the water hose and shot the dog up the nose, man. The dog wouldn't let go. It was gonna drown. So it wasn't until Hamp came over there and on command, he said, break. He said it like 3 or 4 times, and the dog let go. Man, that dude still walking around Sanford, Florida with a lump on his shoulder, and his right shoulder kind of hang low. And we were like, that was good for you. So everybody started like talking like, man, you fucked up. You've been cheating all this long time. Karma done got your ass. So that's when they were telling Uncle B and Grandma and them how he used to lace the dog up with cocaine and gunpowder in the dog food. How he used to torture the dog, treat the dogs bad, and how he used to put Novocaine under the dog's skin. That's the shit, Novocaine. He used to put Novocaine under the dog's skin, so if another dog bite him under there, the dog gonna lose the taste in their mouth. And dogs can't bite if they mouth numb and shit. So that's how he was winning the fight. But that dude punished right now. I'm gonna leave it right there. I don't know if that's a spooky story. I'm just giving you the little take on it and the spooky elements to it. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments or the recap. We're gonna have one. Alright everybody, I'm finna let you go because this shit getting a little crazy here. But I know Stoney came back through that other dog and got revenge for them people cheating, which cost her life. Now I'm finna let it go. Alright everybody, I'm tight. Telling you guys sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, but it's the truth, no doubt. Take care, God bless, much love, and remember, it's a dog eat dog world. Don't let it eat your ass. Have a good one.